Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Oh,
That's definitely
hello.
the first time that we've done the intro today. We didn't
It
forget to
is.
record before this. Welcome to the stream if you're watching live. Welcome to the video if you're watching after the fact. It's going to be a fun one today. Got Shogun with me as always, the best caster of all time. And
Oh, it still hasn't changed.
yeah, between
Just
5
keep
minutes ago and
going.
now. I'm looking forward to getting Yukeo, Lethamyr, and Scrub Killa on later on to talk about their league play standings, final standings thoughts, and some playoff predictions, and just some other questions as well. And hashtag sellout if you want to ask them a question, leave it in an alert box message, and I'll be sure to pass it along. But yeah, without any further delay, let's just get Yukeo in here to chat to him, because I don't want to keep these guys waiting. That's very nice of them to come and talk to us today. So he's still in this group, isn't he? Yukeo, can you just
sorted.
join?
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Oh, he's amazing.
Man, this is so much easier than we thought it was going to be.
I thought that when Yukeo joined, it was going to move Shogun's face cam and it was going to kick me. And no, it's great. It all worked out perfectly.
Have you checked that you're still streaming?
I am still streaming. I am.
Then it is perfect.
It's going very well. But I did want to ask Yukeo a few things, first of all, before we get into predictions for, well, pretty much the playoff matches that he's not involved in. And first of all was, with the off-season going into this season of RLCS looking, I would say, kind of rough for you guys, for Flipside, for Cuxer, Mystic, and yourself. Did you think that top 2 was a realistic thing? Was that something that you were aiming for?
Well, it was definitely harder than I thought, because we were actually bad for a long time before the season started. But I kind of knew that we can still come back, because we already played last season together, and RCS matches are different than normal tournaments and stuff. So I thought we should be fine, but top 2 was still hard, but I still believed in it, of course.
Could you expand upon that actually a little bit? Because people hear it from us a lot of the time about how RLCS matches are different to a regular play match. How does it feel different from your point of view?
Well, in RCS, everyone knows you have to perform right now, and there's so much on the line, a lot of money and career in general. Like, everyone wants to win, and it's just like the pressure, I think, that what makes it different than in a normal tournament. Because yeah, RCS matches and getting to LAN is way more important to everyone.
So you get one chance at, well, you get multiple chances at Gfinities, you get one chance at
Yeah,
LCS. Okay,
exactly.
I get ya.
When the season started off with Weedham Girls and Dignitas beating you, was that like a reality check for you, or were you still like expecting a bounce back? I mean, you guys bounced back so strong. You won 4 games in a row in the last games for RLCS, right? I think it was 4 games in a row. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was,
4
yeah.
games in a row.
How did you guys do that? Because a lot of people looked at Flipside and saw an inconsistent team. A lot of people saw Cuxer and a backpack, but what did you see? Like, what was it from Yukeo's perspective?
Well, against first of all, Kuxa used 115 FOV in the beginning. I don't know if you knew, but
Wait,
yeah,
you used 115.
Yeah, 115. And
How?
against, I don't know,
how?
it's
Wait,
I don't know.
sorry,
Just like we've
you can't
cheated
just
that
say
or
that and then
something, I don't
skip over that. What? He's 115 FOV. How?
And I told him that he should change it back because he played different. And
Back is does 115 FOV. What?
there was like after after Rhythm Girls, I think, or Dignitas.
Right.
And when we played against PSG, then he had normal FOV again, and he played way better in my opinion. So
Right.
and I don't know. It was definitely at the start we were obviously a little bit worried because I don't know. We lost, but we knew that the season isn't over yet, obviously, and we know that every RCS match is important, so we never gave up. And in week 3, I think we played the best, in my opinion. Or was it week 4? No, it was week 4. Against Mouse.
And Vitality,
No,
right?
no, no, it was Vitality and Fnatic.
Vitality
Exactly.
Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
when we
very
played
strong.
the best. Against Vitality, it was very intense, in my opinion. But yeah.
So you've now been with this Flipside team for you're a couple of months away from a year
Yeah.
at this point. How has the dynamic changed over the last year? Because you guys have been from a team that, sort of was outside chances at making top 4 to you're now a top 2 team. So what do you think is the biggest change in that amount of time?
Ooh, I'm not sure. We started off pretty decent, then we got a little bit worse again, and then at the end of league play, we got pretty good last season. And after Gnarly happened and stuff, I think that was probably our best form that we had so far. And then it got very bad again, and now we just like try to figure it out. And currently, it looks pretty good again.
So we need a consistent
Yeah, it's just
Flipside.
it's just a consistent thing that makes us
If it
struggle.
makes you feel better, there's only one consistent team in Europe right now, so
Yeah.
you're in there with the rest of them.
Yeah, and I think roster changes actually was part of it too a little bit because other teams switched it up for some reason. So I think that's a little bit of a favor.
You say for some reason, do you disagree with some of the roster changes?
Yeah, like complexity was a little bit questionable in my opinion because yeah, they were top 2 and top 3 at LAN and finished top 2 in League Play 2, so there was actually no reason for them to change in my opinion.
Well, if they want to get first, that's fair enough, I would say, but I still don't know if the change was a good idea. I'm not saying it was, but I've seen teams do that before in other esports, get second place and then make a roster change just because they want first. They want number 1. They're not happy.
Yeah, but it's definitely risky though. Like they should have just tried to figure out to get first, in my opinion. But yeah, everyone sees it different, I guess.
Yeah. So you didn't expect that, or did you expect that to go quite as badly? Let's start talking about some league play standings. With
Well,
they're last in Europe, so they're into the relegations. And Fnatic as well. Can you speak about Fnatic and Complexity briefly, and what you expected from them and what they've ended up as?
Well, I kind of knew that they were doing roster changes because we were screaming them obviously in the off season, and I was a little bit scared because yeah, I knew that they were maybe better or like harder to play against because they just tried to play more speedy in scrims and stuff like with Greasy Complexity. But yeah, I don't know. At the end, or like when the season started, they didn't look as good, I think, as last season.
Did you think they were going to finish last and second last, Fnatic Complexity? No. Who did you expect to be last then? Or who did you think was going to go down to relegations if you had to choose?
I thought Fnatic and Mouse.
Right, okay. And I mean, it did go right up until the wire with Complexity versus Mouse for that last spot. I mean, you guys sentenced Complexity into the
Yeah, you could have been correct here. What would you rather have had here, Yukeo? Be correct or make LAN?
Yeah.
Yeah, LAN obviously is more important than predicting it right.
Yeah,
Disagree.
Just own goal because you want to be right. Fit it in your own net. All right, so we talked about your top 2 and the bottom of the pack. Let's talk about the middle of the pack then, because obviously we've got Weedham Girls versus Mouse coming up in playoffs, and probably a lot of people would say more excitingly is PSG versus Vitality. So, do you have any predictions for Weedham Girls versus Mouse, first of all?
So, just my prediction, the score?
Yeah, if you want to give score, percentages, however you want.
Well, I think from those 2 series, Vitality and Weedham Girls are obviously are the favorites, but I think Mouse has the kind of still the surprising factor in it because yeah, they're from RLS and they have nothing to lose anyway, and as an underdog you can always surprise teams. And yeah, I don't know, PSG.
So you said they were a little bit of an underdog. When you came to play against them,
Yeah.
were you more prepped for them, or were you looking at them just saying, okay, we can sort of expect to win? What was your expectations when you went to play against Mals this season?
Yeah, I actually expected them to be a little bit worse, but I saw that they, like after week 1, they finished 2-0, I think, or something,
Yeah.
against Fnatic and Vitality. So I was actually a little bit scared after that week. I thought maybe they are actually better. And they actually were when they played against us, because they almost reverse swept us. And yeah, it was they were better than I thought, at least.
So that week 1 helped wise you up to, okay, we need to be prepped for these guys.
But they still almost came back for some reason. They started to be annoying, stealing boosts and stuff, and just, I don't know.
Just roll over, please.
So you said Vitality Weedham girls are the favorites though for making LAN.
Yeah, I think Widom girls, like my prediction is 4-2 Widom girls over Mouse, and probably 4-1 Vitality or something against PSG.
You think PSG are only going to take a game? You're not giving your keyboard and mouse brother Fruity more than a single game.
But what I want to happen is different. Like, I want Mouse actually to win against Widom girls.
Yeah, because you want the best competition out, or the biggest threats, I guess.
And because I'm close friends with Tigre as well.
Okay.
That's why. But yeah, that obviously as well.
So
we haven't had good results against them, Widom girls.
Who do you want to win well, you think Vitality will, but who do you want to win PSG Vitality?
I want PSG to win as well. Even though I like Fairy Peak and Scrub.
What about Pashi? What did Pashi ever do to you?
He did nothing. Yeah, I know. I sometimes ride with them, and stuff. And I never ride with Pashi, usually.
It sounds like you're saying ride with him. Ride with him. You're riding with...
no, you don't want to ride with Pashi.
No, you don't. I was going to say...
Yeah. I like Fruity as well. And I like everyone, but yeah. Like, I'm friends with them, I guess, a little bit. And I talk with Fruity and Scrub a lot. So.
Did you watch any of NA, or did you follow NA this season at all? Or OCE by any chance? I'm not expecting you to. But
NA a little bit, but not too much.
How scared are you? Well, just Cloud9 then. How scared are you of Cloud9? Because I remember I heard you say in the past one thing about when you beat Cloud9 in Gnarly, right?
Yeah.
You said that they were better than you expected, if I remember correctly.
Way better than I expected. Actually, I don't know. It was so close on LAN as well. Like Gimmick and Squishy are just like very annoying to play against. They're just very fast, very mechanical, and I actually saw that they can play very good on LAN. So.
And they look like they're the best team in North America now, beating everybody except FlyQuest, funnily enough. So does that mean that you're keeping an eye on them in particular? Like, do you think how much of a chance do you think they have against you guys, Dignitas, Widom Girls, Vitality? Where would you put them?
Ooh. I'm not sure. I still think Dignitas is the best team in the world right now. Because, they just play very smart, I guess. And are just very coordinated as a team.
So you did actually mention there that you have been participating, obviously, in things like Gnarly. You were also there for DreamHack earlier this year. Have those events helped you prep? Have they helped you prep ahead of this World Championship coming up? Because, well, you've now had 2 LAN experiences. Is there anything that you would change from how you've been prepping for the last 2 as to how you're going to prep for this one?
Well, on Gnarly, I didn't like the setup because it was just different than from home. But yeah, Gnarly, I definitely felt like my mechanics were just a little bit worse than at home. But I think that's for everyone. Not sure though. So yeah, I just kind of have to play more with my brain, I think, on LAN.
If it makes you feel better, the RLCS computers are powered, could basically power a jet.
Oh, okay.
They are
Nice.
they are powerful.
Okay. Yeah, and the monitors are probably 240 hertz as well. Do you know
Well,
that?
Cooksey has gone there twice, so they
Oh,
are
okay,
more
okay.
than prepped.
All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
true. They need to be
I
ready.
heard the RCS admins just breathe a sigh the moment they saw Cookseries going through. It was just like, we're happy he's going, but we got to deal with Cooksey now.
All right. Yeah, I know. Like it definitely helped me with experience. I do know how to play online now, at least. But yeah, still, I think it's pretty similar to home, just that I don't know, like the crowd makes you feel a little bit different as well and more focused on the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to an
Um,
RLCS LAN before?
no, it's
No,
actually
first
my first
RLCS.
time.
Even
Yeah.
as just a person, a human, not just a
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Just in case people didn't know, Yukeo you did get the last week's league play MVP, right?
Yeah.
And rightfully
Day of
so.
the week.
And Cuxer got the league MVP.
Ooh.
And then Mystic uploaded a video of you guys reacting to your win to his YouTube channel, which is very funny. But yeah, do you have anything to say about that MVP award? Because I mean, I think for you it might actually be quite a big deal because you never showed your very best in RLCS until now, maybe. I think people criminally underrate Mystic for his entire career, and then you're on Cux's team, so you as well naturally get underrated because everybody
Yeah.
thinks that Cux is doing everything. And he is putting up some really big numbers, but you did the same in the final week, which was very impressive. Like, what do you tell people who you think underrate you, or people who don't give you the credit that you might deserve?
I mean, after all, it's like a team game as well, and like only like I don't know, like stats are cool to look at, yeah, but it doesn't show everything in my opinion. Like it's just having points in the game. Of course, it's still a big factor, but there are still some things that just normal people don't see, or because they don't even know the knowledge of the gameplay and stuff like as good as pro players do.
So what is the
So
thing then that people miss the most? What is the thing that you hear from either casters or just the casual viewer that you just go, I wish you understood this? I'm mostly asking because I'm about to find out if I do it.
Hmm. I don't know, like for example, they can't even know the communications and stuff. Like, what if someone said, "Yeah, you jump for it," or "I can't" and stuff? I don't know. Just can get confusing in communication as well, and then it just looks different on stream. So, and then
Fair.
people just blame what happened, even though it might be a different cause of the problem.
Okay, I get you.
So stuff like that. I mean, um,
So that's talking about mistakes. What about good plays? What goes underappreciated? What sort of contribution goes unnoticed?
I think a lot of saves, maybe. I think I do actually a lot of saves in Flipside. And Cooksey is just a very good goal scorer, and
Yeah.
he's very patient as well because of his 1v1 experience, I think, as well. And Mystic sets up a lot of things, and I think he helps the team in general a lot. So I wouldn't really say that one specific player in our team is a carry or something, but yeah, it's still opinion based.
Yeah,
I
people are
don't
always going to
really
say
mind.
stuff like
Yeah,
that. You just have to like have a
yeah,
response, I suppose. But yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty much like nobody left any sellout questions, which is both a shame but also great. So we don't have to answer any more questions. But I've got through everything I wanted to say. Shogun, is there anything else you wanted to ask Yukio?
No, I think I've got everything I wanted to ask. So thanks for coming on, dudes.
All right,
Yeah, do you have
thank
anything you
too
want to say before you piece it?
Oh no, just enjoy
Twitch.tv/Yukio
Yeah.
follow me.
RL.
He has actually been streaming a lot recently.
Is it Yukio RL on Twitch? I think it is.
Yeah, UKRL and Twitch and Twitter as well.
Twitch and Twitter, Yukio RL. So there you go. Go give him a follow. And
Yep.
see you in Vegas. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Are you going there too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's gonna
see
be
you
great.
then.
All right,
See
see
you
you later,
later.
man.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Some of us are going to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas. It's great. All right, let's get Lethamyr in here. See if I can figure out how to do this.
Rapid fire.
I'm gonna hide the face cam just in case I bean something.
You're not going to be in it. I believe in you, Johnny.
I might add the wrong person here. Let's see if this works.
You've just added Lethamyr.
I did not, did I? No, I didn't. Okay.
Why-
You had me worried there for a second.
That was such I even paused before lying to you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Shogun's. I got Shogun's cam here, but
Yeah,
That's all
no,
you
Shogun's
need.
cam is for the
Okay,
stream.
Just sit there and stroke the screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
get to see your beautiful face the whole time.
Damn right. See this guy? No, I like this guy. Yukeo, whatever, but I like Lethamyr a lot more.
Whoa, Yukeo RL is in the chat. He probably heard that.
Oh,
That's
he can
unfortunate.
understand. Okay, I'm sure he understands.
Anyway, let's give everybody some who doesn't know. Most people will probably be aware, but Lethamyr did qualify for playoffs, sixth place, with Ghost Gaming, your teammates Zane, Jackie, and Memory as well alongside you. And most people would think that, qualifying to playoffs in 6th place out of 8, your game win percentage is probably not going to be that good. But they would be completely wrong because you guys only lose game 5s or only lose series in game 5, and then you swept the last series of the season, which actually does lead me to my first question. Why no game 5 versus Allegiance? What happened? Where did it all go wrong?
There was so much on the line. I mean, we were joking about it the entire time during the series. Like we were up 2, and we're like, do we throw 2 games just to keep this legacy going and win the world record for it? We matched it with, I think it was leftovers from season 4, in games played. But we were in game 3. We're like, we are so nervous to lose any more matches or like any more games, any more goals. We just like went full ham into the end of the game. So we were pretty happy with that 3-0. If you look back at like our record though, people like were kind of trashing us the entire season. But we counted it. We were only 4 goals away from being 6-1 in the league. It's kind of ridiculous to think.
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
It was very close.
So it was pretty close. So we're pretty happy with how we did overall, even with the 2-5 ending.
So we just had Yukio on. He was saying about how much different an RLCS game feels to a regular game. And that's mostly down to just how little he gets to see an RLCS game compared to a regular game. So I want to ask you, does a Game 5 feel special now compared to when you first started the season, or do you still get really nervous for those?
I think they just haunt us. We were really amped up to like get this final win that we needed against Allegiance in the final week. And so we ended up playing a community tournament on the Sunday, and every single match I think went to Game 5. Well, I think we broke the curse against Bread. 3-1 against them, but then we played the final match. It was best of 7. We ended up going to game 7, so it was the same thing. Like it was sort of the same issue. I don't know. We've had problems with closing out series, and I feel like people don't realize that we actually only started practicing as a team the week before the first matches, like the first week, because we had that 2v2 thing, and Memory just joined our team to do the 2v2. During that, he was on Space Station. But yeah, we only had a week to prepare, and I think we came up pretty strong, even though we lost 2 matches in the first week. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Energy. No. Who was it? Cloud9? Do you guys know?
Yeah, I think it was Cloud9.
You lost to EG first.
Oh,
EG, Cloud9.
right?
No,
Yeah,
not Cloud9.
so-
Yeah, it was Cloud9. And then you beat
so-
Rogue.
Yeah, so the Rogue was the win on the second week, which we were really happy not to go 0-4, because that would have been pretty
Yeah, that would be
devastating.
pretty bad.
I think, Memory was also happy too, because he was 0-7 last time he was in RLCS, and he didn't want to go 0-14. So-
Yeah, you played with, what was his team called again? Though he was in RLCS
it was
before.
STDX, set to
Yeah,
destroy.
STD, of course.
Oh, that
You're
was
right.
so much fun as a caster.
Yeah. But they knocked out Squishy, right, in qualifying. So that was
Yeah, Team Iris with Lachinio.
Yeah, they beat Squishy and
At the time.
Lachinio's team back in the day to qualify. People kept clipping my prediction for that game because I just brushed it aside. Oh, obviously that Squishy's gonna win this one, and then they lost. So yeah,
Well, my
happens.
theory for why they why they won that was because they were so aggressive, like Cloud9, or I guess Iris at the time.
Iris,
but
yeah.
they just soaked. You could tell they soaked up all the defensive pressure, and so then they probably just got a few breakaways. We didn't get to see that on stream, I don't think.
I thought you were about to say Set to Destroy had all of the offensive pressure.
No.
I was saying, just
Lemon
going,
Puppy streamed
Did you
it.
see them?
No, Lemon Puppy streamed it. Yeah. I don't know if it's still available, but I watched that series on Lemon Puppy stream. It was off stream. Like
That
apart
might
from that.
explain the season we got from them after that, because they were annoyingly defensive.
I think I remember watching some of the series on his stream or like his VOD, and I think there was a lot of double commits by Iris at the time. So Memory like held the fort down with its defense as always. So it was pretty cool to watch.
Oh yeah, Iris were shockingly bad in that series. It was awful.
Yeah, I've been following Memory for a long time as a player, so it was only a matter of time, I think, before he joined our team.
Yeah, he's had a really good season actually. I think one of the most like unnoticed rookie seasons because like everybody's been talking about Chicago for EG since the start of the season because he's been playing pretty well. I think maybe the best player on that team. But Memory's also done really well for himself this season, and even like Joro and Rogue. I mean, I know Rogue finished bottom, but I think he didn't look too bad for a rookie season as well. Although I'm calling Memory like a rookie season because it's kind of like it's not.
A new.
I don't feel like
it's like a new rookie.
Yeah, because he went 0-7 last time, so he's may as well be rookie season really. And then of course the FlyQuest guys are all doing pretty well. But what do you think about taking Memory under your wing? Was that like something that you and Zane were trying to do? Just take the pressure off him, let him do his thing, or what? How did that work out?
Well, full disclosure, I don't want to like defame anyone, whatever you want to call it, defamation of anybody, but like people really questioned why we chose to remove Matt from the team over Zane Jackie because of Zane Jackie's score, as people always follow. It's like, oh, he's the last person on the fantasy
like a lot
boards. He must
as
be
well all the time.
Yeah, like people think, oh, that must mean that you should replace that player. Same with Mets and RS. I don't think he should have been replaced. They had a really good synergy as a team. Anyway, but we chose to remove Matt from the team because he never really practiced, and I don't know. He'd be really hard to communicate with the organization. They were getting like pretty frustrated, like trying to reach all of us for something that we needed to talk to them about, like briefly and like as soon as possible, but we wouldn't hear from him for days. So it was just difficult to get that side of the background, basically.
Yeah.
Like he's a great player, and he still is, and he's a savant at the game. So I'm glad to see that he's on Rogue and performing well. But Memory was an obvious choice, I think. Just like I don't know what happened, why I chose. Like I was like, you know what? Every time I play with Memory in twos, I don't lose to anybody. So I thought I'd message him and see if he wanted to play. And it kind of went from there, and the synergy worked really, really well with my aggression and patience and his defense and shots. So, yeah, so I don't know, worked out.
So as a team, you now have got the most amount of possible high-level practice time heading into this week. How do you feel like you have progressed since week 1 of this season up to this point? Are you feeling confident about your game?
Tremendously confident. I feel like every week we've basically like the percentage of time that we've had together as a team, it's increasing. It's decreasing, but it's been dramatic. It's like after the first week of RLCS, we were 50% more gameplay into the second week. We got that one win against Rogue, and then it's 33% onwards. So we've still got a fresh team here. I feel really confident moving in after that win, the 3-0 sweep. I don't know if you guys noticed, Zane and Memory are both on Batmobiles now, which is quite the change.
A lot of Batmobiles popping up these days. Dominus as well.
We were getting a lot of.
I don't like this at all, but
maybe all Batman.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, and I think like if we had to choose a team, no offense to EG, they're an amazing team, but like if we had to choose one of those top 4, I think we got the jackpot or the lottery. You know what I mean? So.
I was actually going to ask you that. So EG finished 3rd place and NRG finished 4th. And I wanted to know out of those teams, like, what were your thoughts? Because NRG have had a very, very rough season. They're completely even in games 1 lost. 15 wins, 15 losses for the season. And they needed to pull out reverse sweeps against Rogue. I think they had to reverse sweep EG. No, they lost to EG, rather. They had to reverse sweep you guys, though, right? Yeah, they did.
I think so.
They had to reverse sweep you guys and Rogue. And they lost to EG, lost to G2, lost to Cloud9. So the worst season... I think maybe even a worse season than they had in League Play season 4, which was also a bad one for them. they finished 4th in season 4 as well, but it wasn't this bad. This has been really rough, and they what do you call it? I don't know. They're just such a drop off from making grand finals of the last 2 majors and taking Dignitas all the way in the grand final. Like, what happened from your perspective to NRG, Lethamyr?
Well, I know there's been a lot of family things going on in the background for Garrett specifically. I'm not going to go into any details, obviously, but I don't know too much about it. I just know that there's probably been a lack of focus due to that. And also, historically, between EG and Energy, like the 2 teams that we would have to face, Energy always shows up under pressure. You can even see, like, in our reverse sweep games, like against them, like once they were under pressure, they were down 2 games. They were like, okay, we're putting on full heat, and they just like destroyed us. I mean, not a complete destroyed us. Let's be modest here. the final game was weird with the whole pause thing. Like Zane Jackie had like orange ping and everything. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that they'll definitely show up in this the regional tournament. They have to give themselves time to really get back into the groove. How many weeks is it between now and Arls LAN?
It's like a month exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah,
exactly a month.
That's plenty of time for them to loop around. Teams tend to do like a sort of like a wave pattern, up and down, like a roller coaster. I think that they're maybe in their down, climbing back up. So if they make it into the regionals, the top 4, they'll be fine. They'll be able to ramp back up into LAN.
Well, since we seem to be on the topic, let's try and grab a prediction from you on this one. FlyQuest versus NRG this weekend. Who is going to be taking that one? Best of 7.
Oh, best of 7. That's right. Okay, so I don't know. Like, it really depends on how Energy approaches FlyQuest. This is why they beat C9. It's because they were quick to the air, which surprised Cloud9. So the way that we approached FlyQuest, and it just fell short of the last game. They are very fast, and we tended to like let them do their thing in the air and finish off the defense and break away. So if Energy focuses on that, I would say they're probably mechanically better overall. Well, not probably, obviously. And they could probably get goals out of that, like breaking out their defense, their overcommits on their 3rd man and stuff like that. So I'd say probably 4-2 for Energy. I'd give FlyQuest 2 games.
Okay.
It could even go to 4-3. Like, it could go to Game 7. I feel like FlyQuest really is underestimated by most people. They did really well in the league, even though their score doesn't really reflect it.
Yeah, they're on a hot streak right now as well. Like, they finished so strong. They were losing 0-4 in the league, and then they beat Cloud9, you guys, and Rogue back to back, which is definitely impressive. Like, I mean, the Cloud9 win by itself is impressive. I think winning 3 series in a row at the end of the season is impressive. Like, it shows that they are willing to come along and play under pressure, because that's really high pressure for them. I think if they lost to Rogue, they were out. In fact, they were out. They would have been in relegations if they lost that series, and that went to Game 5. So FlyQuest could be an interesting one versus NRG.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum thing too. Like, we were worried because they beat Cloud9 right before they played us. They were like, okay, they're gonna be like really feeling really good going into our matches, and we needed that win, like one of the wins, either Allegiance or FlyQuest. We needed one of those, and them winning Cloud9, like, that lowered our chances of getting top 6 too, which made us even more nervous. I would say. So there's just like a combination of things. They're pretty confident right now, so they should come out like striking pretty hot in this regional qualifier.
So one thing I do actually want to speak to you about, more of like a personal curiosity, is obviously you're a high-level 1v1 player, you're a high-level freeze player, but I've always considered you to be best when you're playing 2s. Why is it that whenever the Universal Open comes around, you just suddenly seem to hit your best possible form? What is it about 2s that seems to get the best out of you?
Well, so 2s is interesting because people like to complain about 2s, but it's the same as 3s. It's just it really reflects upon people's ability to play second man properly in a team. In 3s, especially, like, that second man role is the most important. People say it's the third, but you put your third in a bad spot if you're the second man doing something stupid. So I would say that that's why I'm good at 2s. I feel like I'm pretty patient as a second man when I have someone ahead of me. So I tend to reflect that, like, bring that transition into 3s and try to make sure that I back up for most parts Zane Jackie, because we try to put Zane or Memory first and then me in the middle. More so lately, we've just been letting, like, Zane and Memory do whatever they want, and I sit back as third man, and they've been pretty good at holding that second man position. So like I said, 2s is definitely showing mistakes on second man positioning, and I feel like I do a pretty good job of that position on the team.
That's an interesting outlook, actually. Like, when you screw up a second man in threes, you've screwed up your third. Because, yeah, you're absolutely right. It does have a like really really strong tie to 2v2, where if you screw up a second man, you're just gonna concede because you don't have a third.
Yeah, and the third has to do something ridiculous to save it.
Yeah, leaving your
case,
third is just as bad, because he could be stuck in a 1v2 and somebody's trying to demo him, that sucks. Or you could just be having to go in for a really awkward challenge on a dribbler, which that sucks as well. Might have to line himself up for a save and defend the backboard at the same time. It's not a good idea to leave your third isolated in
it tends to be
3v3.
like the first man like goes in and challenges. If they miss the challenge, second man really shouldn't try to do the same thing that person just did, because you're throwing two people. You're like trading players for one for two. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I always think of it like a chess game like that, where you're trading players and boost, all that stuff. So
See,
Yeah.
Johnny's listening to this right now, and I know he plays a lot of Hearthstone. He's just like, yeah, you get 2 for 1. There you are, you're good.
Totally. No, I mean, yeah, okay, I've played a lot of Hearthstone. Fair enough. Yeah, it's true. So that, yeah, I wasn't gonna ask you your prediction. I think asking how giving a game prediction for you versus EG. No, not really any point in doing that. But what I did want to say is follow up on you saying that you think you won the jackpot on who to play against out of the top 4. What is it that either you prefer about EG as an opponent for the playoffs, or if it's not that, what is it that you're more scared about with NRG, G2, and Cloud9?
Well, I've never been teammates with Garrett, Justin, or Fireburner, and I've been teammates with 2 of the 3 players on that team on EG. So I feel like you kind of get more familiar with players against you when you've already played with them on the team. You know their tendencies, you know what they're going to go for, you know where they're going to position on the field, so you can tend to read more naturally where they're going to be on the field. So I feel like that's really helpful.
That's why
It's
Pash is
obviously
so
the same.
good. It's because he's been teammates with everybody. So he's always
Precisely.
prepared.
Yeah, so obviously it's also the same way. It goes the same way for Classics and Gabe for me, and Classics with Zane as well. So it's the same thing. We've got 2 players who know the other 2, so it could go either way. I feel like we're pretty confident, even though we lost 3-2 to them in the league, it could go the opposite way for us here to make us get to land. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Shogun, did you have any other questions related to league play and playoffs for Lethamyr? It's still saying in NA.
So the only real question I wanted to ask is after listening to this from Yukeo earlier on was just the pressure and how it's very different to the LAN. Do you feel the same sort of pressure difference between playing in a weekly compared to playing at the RLCS? And if so, how is it different for you?
No, I would say it's different because of the pressure, like Yukio said. People don't really understand. People are like, "Oh, why'd you miss that?" It's like, well, you have so much riding on the line. Your body is I'm sweating every match. I don't know.
I think that's fairly acceptable for a Rocket League game, though. Everybody's
I also like it to be warm in my room. I have to have it pretty hot, so my hands are fully movable.
He's got the heater on and a hand warmer at the same time.
There you go. Yeah. So the pressure is huge. People don't realize just how much your heart's beating. You can feel it out of your chest. While you're just sitting, that first you're testing out the server and you're sitting there for 10 minutes and they make you sit there ice cold and you're freaking out. It's am I gonna be good when I jump into this game? I'm so worried, and I don't know. It's a lot of pressure. That's definitely the biggest thing. And composure and making sure that communication doesn't fall apart when that also happens, because people tend to shut down when they're trying to focus on not messing up.
Did you watch much of EU Rocket League or RLCS this season? Or did you just follow the scores just to gauge what kind of questions we should ask you related to that?
I didn't watch too much of it. I like to watch a bit of how Scrub did and everything like that. They definitely had a weak start, but I watched some of their later matches, and they look pretty well informed. So I didn't watch too much, though. I don't know if you could ask me too many relevant questions that I'd be able to answer.
Well, we've got Vitality, that is the Scrubs team, versus PSG, the former bluey Josette Farah, now fruity Josette Farah. Do you expect that to go in Scrubs' favor, like Yukio does, or is it up in the air?
Once again, historically, I feel league play, it's got pressure involved because there's so much on the line, but at the same time, you have some leeway between each match until the end, where people really have to show up to make sure they secure their spot. I feel like Scrub does better under pressure than most players, given his 1v1 experience. And like that's probably why they ended up performing a lot better, like moving into the season, because they were down a few games. They had to get some matches to keep their top 6 spot. So that reflected there. So I feel like they could probably take this best of 7. I'm gonna say 4-2 again, maybe 4-3.
It's pretty similar to Yukeo, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Vitality will pull it out of their hat at the end. We'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see. And
I
obviously,
think
you've
that's a
got your eye
typical
on.
thing
Oh, sorry, go on.
that I was gonna say that's a typical thing that I say. We'll see, because it can go either way. So I don't want to be too solid on my
Nah, just go
decision,
all in. Then you get clipped when you're wrong, and everybody forgets when you're right. Except
I'd
you.
be a horrible
When you're
analyst.
right, when you're right, you clip it yourself because nobody else will. People are only
How
clipping
come
things when
these
you're wrong.
players are so good at in-game, but once you get out of here, they just suddenly forget how to commit?
Yeah, you got to double commit on your predictions. Vitality are going to win 7-0.
You gotta throw it down.
It should be interesting though. I mean, NA versus EU is always a bit of a hot topic, and I think it's definitely more of a meme than an actual rivalry at this point in Rocket League. But I want to ask you, Lethamyr, if Dignitas did not exist, do NA win this LAN? Do NA take RLCS Season 6 if Dignitas aren't in it? Obviously they are, but in another world where they're not.
I definitely think Cloud9 would take it at the time. Right now, how they're performing now,
Right.
we'll see within a month how they're doing. But they're definitely at their highest point right now. They're
Okay.
so solid. So I feel like they're definitely a contender, regardless of Dignitas existing or not. Like I said, I didn't really watch too much. I was like, oh, it's Dignitas match right now. I'm not gonna watch. They're probably gonna win this one, whatever. But well, I've never really seen how they performed this season so far. But
They
it'd be
only
interesting to
dropped
see a
4
Cloud9 matchup.
games. They up until the last week they'd only dropped a single game. Actually, out of 5 series they only lost a single game. Then they lost 1 game to Weedham Girls and 2 games to Vitality. In the very last series of the entire thing. So they could have had a plus 20 game differential if they went perfect on the final week. Didn't manage it. They're going to have to settle for the 7-0 game win-loss. They're washed. They're pretty much... They got 4 times more losses in the final week than they did in the rest of the season combined. They're washed. They're on the downward spiral, clearly.
But yeah, even with the 7-0, I like it's always a difference of play styles, NA to EU. So I think that Cloud9 can put up a pretty good match against them right now. So we'll see.
I would agree.
Hoping to see that happen.
Yeah, Shogun, you got any other final questions for Lethamyr?
I am all good, my dude.
And again, we
Alright.
didn't get any sellout questions from Twitch chat. So easy peasy. You got anything you want to plug or say before we move on to Scrub Killa, Leth?
I guess my YouTube. It's just Lethamyr on YouTube, Lethamyr, and I've been making daily videos. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
you
know.
did daily
Otherwise-
content actually, have you?
Yeah,
See, I
I've
don't-
been doing pretty much daily content. Yeah.
See, I don't look at actually. I never look and see what people are doing on YouTube. I didn't realize you're doing daily. That's pretty cool.
I've been trying to do a variety of things, like training packs, workshop maps, all that stuff, to make it interesting and fresh for people. So
Good stuff.
pretty busy, but
Well,
practice
best
in
of
between.
luck to you this weekend versus EG. It's going to be obviously a game 7. It's just a given. So good luck in
it's
game
inevitable.
7.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The only game that matters. And yeah,
Appreciate having me on.
thanks for swinging by. No, we appreciate you, man. Take
Yeah,
care.
no worries. Thank you very much.
Just
Take
like-
care. See ya.
I look forward to the 21 different Lethamyr games we're going to see this weekend.
Oh no! If they go game 7, imagine. Here, I'm turning off your face cam to try and see if I can get Scrub Killa in here. I don't know if I even have him on friends. Do I? Wait. Oh, I think I do.
I
Okay.
don't know who used Discord friends.
I think I do actually. Let me see. Scrub. Oh, we do. Perfect. Yeah, you need to have people on friends before you can add them to the call. All right, here he comes. Hopefully. We'll see.
Why is everyone's
Yo.
picture Jesse?
I know everybody's picture on Discord is Jesse. Like Yukeo had this, and then Scrub has this. I don't know if I can get it in the frame. I don't think I can, but yeah. Scrub, first, thanks for the host, by the way. I saw that, but alerts are
Yeah, no
muted. How How was the stream? Did you rage quit?
No, Ashing for tears, the normal.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you that first of all, actually, because after week one, it was week one after losing to Mouse. You tweeted that you weren't going to stream, and then you tweeted that you were going to stream anyway. So what happened? Like in that 24-hour period where you changed your mind and decided to stream after saying you weren't going to stream. What was the deal?
Well, I think after I lost, it was like conflicted emotions, but then I thought, well, it's only one loss. It's not even like in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
There's still like 4 weeks or like 6 games left to go. So I thought, yeah. Plus, streaming's kind of actually addicting when you do a lot. Like you get bored if you're not streaming. So
Yeah, you feel bad if you don't. It's like
Yeah,
I describe it to people who have
feel
never
empty.
streamed. It's kind of like going to the gym. If you are a gym goer like Yukeo, then if you don't go, you feel, oh, I should go. I have to go.
Yeah.
I need to go. I've not been for ages. It's streaming. If you don't stream, you're like, oh, I have to stream. I can't take days off. I need to stream again. But how was it like trying to micromanage streaming and scrims, RLCS, everything else? Was it easy enough or is it tough?
It's really easy. I mean, we usually scrim at the same time every day, usually like 5 o'clock, and then I'll stream after. And we don't stream on Mondays. We don't scrim on Mondays, I should say. At day after RCS, but it's not too hard. It can get a little bit busy, but yeah, overall, not that hard.
So let's jump into the RLCS season then, shall we? I think it'd be fair to say that your debut was probably the most hyped debut of RLCS history. You even got yourself like a little touchscreen segment as well. How was the preparation for that week? Because that's something you've been waiting for years. How did that feel? Take us through the hour before you actually played your very first series.
Well, actually, I'll say this, like, a few days before, like, we were playing really good. I think, like, we just destroyed my sports and scrims, and, like, everything was going well. And then even, like, an hour before, we felt good, and then, like, you get into the series. As soon as you go to the server, like, and that, the way the test the servers is completely different. Like, I could feel my heart beating, like, I could feel it. I was like, whoa. But, I don't know, something went wrong. I don't know, I just went terrible as a team. And it was even worse in week 2, but we bounced back, so.
That's incredible, considering you are a player that has literally sat there in a best of 1 and played for $10,000.
Yeah, I was
Fairy
actually,
Peak.
Yeah. I think that was probably more stressful, but like, I think just the reasons we lost, like we just weren't working well as a team. Like I wasn't even necessarily playing that bad individually. I wasn't playing good, but I wasn't playing bad per se. So
Yeah, a lot of people were identifying Fairy Peak as someone underperforming at that point. I think by the end of the season he's back to normal. But what was up with Fairy Peak at the start of the season? Was he just not syncing up well with you in RLCS or with the team in RLCS? Were comms all over the place?
Honestly, yeah, I think we just had to get used to RLCS like as a team. It was really weird. We kept double committing, and I think week 2 was like even worse. We just double commit for every ball. So then like we just worked on it really hard, and then week 3 and 4. Week 3 we won both games, and then it went better from there.
So what are communication like on your sort of team? Because it's a very mixed style of personalities when it comes to Vitality. So what are comms like? And I'm now very curious after hearing these giggles.
Well, like, Pashi gets really hyped. Like, basically, last week when we played We Dem Girls, like, I had no nerves whatsoever, and it was actually I wasn't even playing good because I didn't feel like I was in RLCS series, and they kept yelling about every goal, and I was like, yeah, nice guys, yeah, and I was like, I couldn't get myself into it, but Dignitas was different, but Pashi just like keeps us motivated, Fairy as well, and we always just like we communicate so much in RCS, which is good.
So the one team that I wanted to ask you about before we talk playoffs is Flipside. Like Flipside last season didn't make LAN. Season before that they didn't make LAN. They didn't make any roster changes in the off season. They weren't looking particularly impressive coming into RLCS. I heard they weren't like smashing anybody in scrims either, so everything was pointing at Flipside struggling into playoffs again and maybe having a shot at LAN, but they've actually made top 2 and they beat you along the way. Like what do you think about Flipside as a team at the moment?
Yeah, Cooks is just like, I don't want to say carrying, but carrying. And like, I mean, the Yuki and Mystic are still really good, but I know Cooks is playing really good this season, so especially against us, he kind of just 1v3. So
What does he
I think
do
that's the
then?
reason.
What does Cux do these days to carry teams? Because you'd think by now everybody would have figured him out, or at least been able to figure out how to play against him. But he always seems to have a way to still be unique and surprise people. Like what is it that he's doing that's so impossible to play against?
Well, I feel like I kind of figured him out, but like, I don't really know why, but like when we played against them, I mean, I always play really good against Flipside because like I know their style of play, but I don't know. I think Kusa just played really good, and like even if you know he's gonna, it's kind of like Dignitas. Like for a player like K-Dop, it's the same. Like you know what they're gonna do, but you can't really stop it because they're so good at it.
Is that like shooting, mainly?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I can usually like dunk Cooks or like ball chase or something like that, but I know there's a strategy being because Cooks are basically like pre-jumps everything in midfield, and then if he's in goals, he will always play by like reaction, so you can use that to your advantage.
Everybody right now just taking notes. Everybody is gonna need to play him in playoffs. So the flip side, if they're gonna play anyone in playoffs, like it would have to be Weedham Girls or Mouse first of all. So you don't have to worry about Cux until the grand final. By then you're probably hoping that
We gotta get there first.
yeah, you have to get past Dignitas, so you got to get past PSG before that. But yeah, we're not going to ask you for your predictions for the PSG series. Just going to wish you the best of luck for that one. But the Weedham Girls Mouse series, do you have any idea how that one's going to go or any expectations?
I would expect Weedham Girls to at least 4-1, probably 4-0. Like
4-0?
I don't really think Mouse are even stand a chance, honestly. I don't think Mouse are that good.
Still a 4-0, that's bold. I think Mouse took games off every single team that they played this season. They never got swept.
I don't know, it's just like the degree show. I don't know. I don't think they stand a chance, in my opinion.
Man, that's harsh. I thought they were at least going to get a couple games.
I know they beat us as well, I should be saying that, but
yeah.
that's just my honest opinion. Like, I mean, Alex and Skyline are still really good, but like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I just think Weedham Girls is going to destroy them.
Fair enough. So you guys did play against Mouse as your very first match this season. Obviously, you were very nervous about that, but they managed to go 2-0 in week 1. What was different about them in that week compared to every other time we saw them, especially during preseason, where they looked somewhat poor compared to what we got in the RLCS? What changed for them?
Well, week 1, like, we played really bad, but they also played really good in week 1. Well, I think because they played Dignitas in week 2, it probably hurt their confidence quite a lot. Because up until that point, you know, they're unbeaten, they got all the momentum, and then they lose to Dignitas, and after that, they kind of lose, like, the drive, maybe. But they also played against, like, Fnatic in week 1 as well, which is, like, I don't know. It's a pretty easy win for them.
Did you think Fnatic were going to end up bottom 2 this season?
Yeah.
And I imagine you thought Mouse were going to be bottom 2 as well, based on...
Or PSG, yep.
Or PSG, okay.
Yep.
But definitely not Complexity by the sounds of things.
No.
So what do you think happened for Complexity then? Where did it all go wrong?
Like, I don't want to say this without being toxic, to be honest, but like, I just want to say like a lot didn't have the best season, to be honest. Like,
I think he said that himself, so it's not really toxic.
Yeah.
It's just
He
you
said
can
that
even
on
quote
stream.
a lot himself.
A lot's quote itself was he thought he was the worst player at one point this season.
So yeah, it's not even. I
Oh.
wouldn't say it's even toxic if you're just quoting the man himself.
yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yukeo's complaining to me on Steam, by the way, because the cooks are carried Flipside.
Yeah, Yukeo doesn't like that. He. It's all good. Yeah, I was gonna ask about that roster change then, because everybody's now talking about that roster change of Metza getting kicked from Complexity, and then Complexity finishing dead last, and Weedham Girls doing pretty well. I'd say, you know, at least as good or maybe a little bit better than Remco and Ignite were able to do last season without Metza. So, what's your perspective on the Metza being dropped situation? Do you think that was the right idea, or were they a bit off with that one?
I'm not really sure why they dropped him, but like the whole thing, Greasy joining. Greasy wasn't the problem really this season.
Yeah, Greasy had actually played pretty well, I think.
Yeah, he did play pretty good this season. I'm not really sure though. I don't really think they should have dropped Meta. So
I mean, there's always lots of
there wasn't
reasons.
a reason to. Yeah, they came third. Like.
See, that's what Yukeo said. He was like, they came third, so why would they make a change? But maybe they wanted first. Maybe they just want to go one better, which is fair, I guess. But and we don't know what's going on, or at least I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that team. Maybe there's something that we don't know about, and that's fair enough. But do you think they're coming back up, or are you worried for their what do you call it, promotion relegation
Who does play in that?
battle? I don't think it's decided yet, but it's probably Savage and Red Reserve, because Savage and Red Reserve both should win their last week's games, and if they do, then they're through.
Wait, who's on Red Reserve? Ronicky, like
Tadpole Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronicky's he's had a really good season. He's very, very impressive.
As someone that has literally just stopped casting him, he is still very impressive.
Yeah, Ronicky's
right now.
very good. I would be surprised if they don't make it into RLCS through the promotion tournament. Well, if they don't make it into promotion tournament and then qualify for RLCS, I'll be incredibly surprised if there's not like a few RLCS teams interested in him next season as an individual.
Now, like I think Complexity is still RLCS level, but it's really tough because they're playing against Savage and Red Reserve, and those are kind of like hard teams to play against because they might not have much matchup experience. But I really do hope Complexity stay in. But I also want Savage to make it into RLCS as well. So it's weird. It's like mixed emotions.
Yeah, you want Devo back.
Yep.
Although and Jesse as well. Jesse got the 100% win rate in RLRS this season. He's the only undefeated player.
The god.
The only undefeated player in the whole league.
Actually true.
He's not lost a game. Well, he lost games, but not lost a series. He's undefeated.
So he's on the same level as Dignitas.
Yeah. So you got back to RLCS. You got Weedham Girls winning, and obviously Flipside and Dignitas are going to LAN. Have you paid much attention to North American RLCS this season?
Nope.
Nothing at all.
I watched like some of the games, but
So do you
I
know
never
that?
watch RCS.
Do you know that NRG are fourth?
Yeah.
And Cloud9 are winning.
It's gonna be EG and NRG for sure. Like they're just way
For
better.
sure.
Well,
From a man who didn't watch any of the games.
I watched some of them, and the ones I watched, the reason why Ghost will lose to EG is because Zane Jackie doesn't even belong in RCS.
Oh, earlier you said you weren't going to be toxic. What?
Well, no. Look, I'm not. I can't like lie though. I don't want to lie about this.
Okay.
Like Lethamyr's got way too much.
Matt, keep it going. You've got the shovel in your hand right now.
No, we've not made LAN yet. You're right. No, you're right. Because you're
no.
right. We could maybe not make LAN.
Do you want to pass me the shovel here? Right, I'll take that from you.
I'm gonna look like an idiot.
I mean, to be honest, if you fail to make LAN,
it's true.
Listen, there's like career options at stake. If you fail to make LAN, I mean, Pashy's gonna kick someone, and you know, it's probably gonna be you. And then you could just try and replace Zane Jackie. Just go to Ghost Gaming and be like, "Sup." I think I can, do better than Zane Jackie. Lethamyr, hook me up. Memory, I remember you.
Yeah.
Get it?
I just don't see why they're playing with Zane Jackie instead of Matt. Isn't Matt way better?
Actually, if you want to listen back to the earlier segment of the podcast, Lethamyr did talk about that briefly. I don't remember exactly what he said. I don't want to paraphrase really, but it was off the pitch reasons, just like logistical stuff.
Well, I mean that's fair, but okay. I was thinking they could pick up Dapper even or something like.
I think Memory's been pretty good actually. No, Memory said a really
No, I'm
good
not talking
season.
about Memory. I'm talking about Zane Jackie.
Oh, but you can't pick up two players though. You can only pick up one.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, 2-player rule. Which
Well,
is
they
kind
can
of
do
like.
that for next season. That's fine.
I don't know if 2-player rule is really. What do you think about 2-player rule? Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, it gives player security, kind of, but in another way it doesn't, because it's like a power play, right? So think about this.
You can gang up. You can gang up like Tommy Snow got ganged up on.
Yeah, so think about that. If you guys don't make LAN, and then suddenly you're going to be thinking, wait, what? Am I going to get kicked? I better team up with Pashy so that I don't get kicked, and then maybe we can kick Fairy Peak. Or maybe I'll team up with Fairy Peak. We'll kick Pashy. It's never been done before. We'll kick Pashy. That's really awkward, right? I don't know if I like that. Glad I don't
Yeah,
have to make
yeah.
those decisions. That's all I'm going to say.
It definitely feels like that rules had its time. Like, it was
Yeah.
needed for a little while between seasons 1, 2, and 3. There was way too much roster shuffling go on to the point that viewers couldn't really find a team to like. But I think now that teams are a lot more settled, I think it's time to move on. And,
Yeah, that
give
should be
the
more like
rosters
solid.
yeah.
Well,
Take
the
it
problem
out of your hands, Scrub. And
the
give it over
problem
to
is though that
someone
the
else.
orgs don't own the spot. The players do.
Yeah,
'cause
I think
Psionics,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
eventually.
franchise. You're right.
Yeah, they're talking about orgs and Rocket League or Psionics right now. That's a bit of like a
Yes.
popular topic, but until orgs own the spot, like you have to keep a 2-player rule because if they all split up, who owns the team? You know, who owns the spot
Yeah.
if everybody goes their separate ways? It's pretty difficult. But yeah, that back to Vitality. You aren't going to be playing Gfinity Elite Series because you're too young, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's disappointing. Or
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah, someone didn't go and do a 5-minute recorded segment believing that you were. Nope.
Wait,
No
yeah, I heard about that.
way.
Like, I heard, yeah, Zidane was telling me about that. Like,
What?
I honestly didn't know.
What
there was
happened?
like some G-Fin. There was like some G-Fin thing hyping me up for playing.
I got sent a list of players, and I swear you were on it.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there.
I don't know why they've capped it at 16. There must be some sort of rule. But yeah, you need to be 16 before you can play Gfinity Elite Series. Just another thing preventing you from, doing what you can do to the max in Rocket League. But
Yeah.
how does it feel now to have a chance at least at LAN, RLCS LAN, after all these years of waiting? Like, what are your...
I'm actually so hyped. Like, words can't describe how hyped I'm for Sunday. Like if I don't make it, I'm gonna be like the most that I've ever been in my life. But if we make it, like, oh, I can't even imagine how happy I'm gonna be. This means a lot, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be a good watch. What game's on first? What's the first match?
Yeah,
You're
we'll play
first on stream?
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
I think that might actually be for the best.
I'm not
Get
sure.
in there.
Yeah. Get out of the way,
Yeah, just get it done. It's like 5 p.m. UK time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the usual 6 p.m. Central EU. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the RLCS related questions I want to ask Rob. Have you got any other questions written down, Shogun?
I actually have one that I have a personal interest in finding out about. Which is so you last season were tasked with handing out the medals
Oh,
yeah.
during the RLCS finals. I'm not going to ask you about that. What I'm going to ask you about is the video I saw of you and Leaf together just before the Justin 0-second goal goes in. And to put it mildly, you had an excited reaction to that goal. Can you sort of explain to me what it was like just to sort of see that happening?
That was like I actually had the perfect view for it, because I was like standing there beside the players, and there was like all like the emotions, the crowd, and like when the 0-second goal went, I didn't even know what. I lost my voice. Like, I was screaming so loud, and everyone else was. I was rooting for Dignitas to win because I'm just so biased towards EU. I never want any to win ever at all. Like,
No more LANs.
Yeah, no.
No
I
more
would never want
RLCS
any to
LANs
win.
at least.
No, not any LAN at all. EU only.
Eventually. We actually, there's been a couple of other, I thought one other question I wanted to ask you. We've had a couple of, segments and other podcasts where we've talked about players who are most likely to transfer to an NA team if the opportunity came up. I think one of the times we were like, yeah, I could see Scrub doing that, because NA is usually like the content region, as well as the region that are trying to win LANs, and Scrub's the streamer, so the teams would probably want to get him. Like, we're talking way down the line, once you've finished school and everything. Is that something you would consider doing, going and playing in NA RLCS if a team wanted you?
Depends on the team, like, I would actually rather play for Vitality than any team right now, and I'm not even saying that. Like, if I've had the opportunity to replace anyone in Cloud9 or anyone G2 or anyone in Energy, I'd probably still choose Vitality
That's fair.
because I think we got more potential. But maybe I wouldn't really want to live in America, but I could.
Yeah, gotta move to Canada. It's miles better.
Yeah.
Live on top. But
Too
listen,
cold, though.
what time is it now? So no, it's not even 11:30. We've actually done pretty well here. But Scrub, thanks for coming on. It's interesting to hear your
No
thoughts.
problem.
Best of luck this weekend. I would be lying if I said I wasn't rooting for you, but we'll keep that a
Pretty
secret
nice.
because
Yeah.
then people will think I'm biased or something.
Can't be biased.
Everybody already knows, but you can find Scrub on @ScrubKillaRL on Twitter. Just Scrub on Twitch now. Just
Yep.
Chop
you can
the
join my
Killa.
Discord as well.
join the Discord. He'll make a YouTube one day eventually, but for now you'll have to
Eventually.
settle for all the
Actually,
people.
well, one day.
Well, until then, you're just gonna have to settle for other people downloading his Twitch content and re-uploading it on their own channels. There's actually so many channels just straight ripping your content and uploading it for ridiculous views.
That's amazing.
Wow, how can you let that happen? Like, come on, you need to make a YouTube.
By the way, I just want to apologize to Zane Jackie for that comment. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I do stand by what I said. I completely think whatever, but it's all good.
Hey, listen, if Ghosts make LAN and you run into, if you guys both make LAN, that's going to be the grudge match. Like, that one comment alone has turned that into the biggest grudge match of all of our LCS Season 6
I can
waiting
imagine
to
that.
happen. Waiting to happen. It's going to be so good. Like, actually going to be so good. But yeah,
Also.
like, have fun with your streaming. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks. Good luck. as
Cheers
well
for stopping
your-
by. All right, let's see if we can block Scrub from rejoining this call because he's going to probably hop back in here somehow. We need to
All right, see you.
see you later.
There, lad.
All right, guys, that was the player segment of the podcast this week. Thought we'd do something a little bit different since playoffs are happening. Wanted to hear some insider info on some of the matchups. But if you guys have any feedback on that, or if you want us to do that kind of thing again in the future, then let us know. I did want to initially, when we started this podcast, just keep it as simple as possible and then just add small things to it, like little by little, because if we add a whole bunch at once and then it's good, we don't really know what was good and what was bad. But I think it's a good addition. As for the rest of the show, since we've kind of touched on a lot of the games and a lot of the standings, and I mean the games have been cycling through here the whole time, we're not going to obviously go through all that like we usually would. But what we will do is, now that the players have all gone, we can just do our predictions and
Oi, oi.
we can see
Go
how
against
wrong
them
we are.
entirely.
Yeah. So I think we'll start with NA. So we've got NRG versus FlyQuest first of all. NRG finishing off the season kind of rough, with losses to G2 and Cloud9 in the final week. FlyQuest finishing the season really, really strong with 3 wins in a row over Cloud9, Ghost and Rogue, respectively. So who have you got taking the series? And if you have a score in mind, what do you reckon, Shogun, for this one as well?
I have NRG in 7.
NRG in 7 games.
Yep.
Yikes. What is it going to be, like another comeback, or?
I'm gonna say defense is gonna be non-existent. Both teams are gonna be very nervous, and both teams are offensive powerhouses. I'm looking forward to this one a lot.
I remember Lethamyr said that the way to beat FlyQuest is to let them do their thing in the air because they're very quick. And then after you've defended their stuff comfortably, or kind of cleaned up what they're doing, you hit them on the counter. I don't know if NRG are going to go about it like that at all. I think
I just
what
don't
you've
see
suggested
it
is
in their
more
play
likely, with both teams bringing battering rams to a chess match.
Could you see Justin staying on defense for more than 5 seconds?
Exactly. No, I don't see this happening at all.
Fire, maybe. Garrett, maybe. Justin, no.
Yeah, I think it's almost like with Ghost. Okay, this is why Lethamyr says that. Is because with Ghost, they don't have any sort of, ego in the sense that we're the fastest team in the world. We're the most mechanical team in the world. I don't think the Ghosts have ever been a team who have fallen into that trap. But I've seen numerous other top teams. Cloud9 have tried to do this and actually looked a bit rough against FlyQuest. I think they lost a game to FlyQuest earlier in the season. I was like, oh no, it's against Ghost. Yeah, Cloud9 were just trying to battering ram Ghost. They were trying to beat them with mechanics, and it wasn't really working. They had to play smart. But that's how you beat these teams. You play smart. You don't try and out mechanics them, especially not FlyQuest. You don't just try and beat them to every ball because they're pretty quick. I don't know if that's going to be a good strat. I think it might be what NRG tried to do. And they are still very good if Garrett shows up and plays like we know he can. I think they're going to win easily.
I
But
think also for that, you have to sort of take into account as to it is Lethamyr and it is Ghost. It's not. They're not a team that necessarily pride themselves on their aerial play. In fact,
exactly,
I would
yeah.
argue they're very much a ground-based team. But NRG and FlyQuest, outside of maybe Cloud9, these are the two biggest aerial-based teams. I remember looking at some of the stats last season. Obviously, these stats are very weird. This was back when we had the aerial stat in the game. And it was like 40% of Justin's touches are in the air. It's ridiculous.
That's just because he air dribbled all the time. No, he didn't actually air dribble all the time. He is a beast in the air. But yeah, I give it to NRG as well. It's like I can't predict against them. But yeah, I think FlyQuest are going to take at least 2 games. I would not be surprised if FlyQuest take like the first game. I would also not be surprised if FlyQuest take the first 2 games, because NRG have started pretty slow a few times this season. Losing 2 games in a row to Rogue and Ghost at the start of series before bouncing back and playing really well. But like Lethamyr said earlier, when they are backed up against the wall, they have that world class to fall back on, and they can, really focus. And I think they will be super, super try-harding for this, and make it
If they
through.
were to lose this, it would be the first time they not only don't make a LAN, but don't even make regional finals.
Fireburners made every LAN, of course. Garrett's made every LAN. They're the only 2 players who made every LAN, aren't they?
Yeah, there is no one else that has ever failed. Made every single LAN.
Because it was the 3 of them and Jacob, and then Jacob obviously was kicked. So it's just Garrett and Fireburner trying to make it back for their 6th LAN in a row. The only players who have done that. So yeah, that's one to look out for. But yeah, well, let's talk about EG Ghost. Probably the hardest, I would say, of all the playoff round 1s to call. This out of all 4. But I mean, that's up for debate. Who have you got in EG Ghosts winning?
I have
first
a
of all?
personal grudge on this one.
Wait, what happened?
Well, okay. So I came onto this podcast last week, and I said, you know what? I believe in evil geniuses. I think it's finally their time to start showing up, start beating some of these top teams. They're going to go 2-0 in week 5. What do they do, Johnny?
Wait, this
was last week. I was saying that I thought evil geniuses were going to go 2-0 in week 5. Because I finally believed I was taking the Twitter advice.
They might not have done that, Shogun. They might have done
they might
exact
not
opposite.
have, mightn't they? They might have made me feel somewhat silly for finally believing in them. So you know what? I'm backing down on my belief. I'm going all the other way. I'm going to say Ghost are going to take this one. in a bit of a surprise. Also in 7 games. Sorry, I'm after all of them this week.
No, I could see Ghost winning this. I could. It's going to be very interesting because EG have started pretty good. In a lot of their series, like when they lost to Rogue, it's because they lost the last 2 games. They lost the last 3 games against G2 to lose that series. They were 2-0 up against Allegiance before letting them back in. They obviously stayed ahead of Energy and FlyQuest for most of those. They were 2-0 up against Ghost. Like they're a strong starter in every single one of their series this season in league play, apart from versus Cloud9. So I think they're probably going to get a couple of games lead, and it's going to be up to Ghost to fight back. And although I do think they have the ability to make this a close series, I don't know if they're going to be able to catch it up all the way. The only thing I'm worried about, though, is that Chicago's the best player on that team, I think, for EG. And it is his first ever RLCS playoffs. And we've seen many, many times before, players will play really well league play, then RLCS playoffs is a different story. So there's a big question mark in Chicago. You know, the Ghost guys don't have a star player who's also a rookie. I mean, Memory is playing really well, but he's got what do you call it? He's got Lethamyr in his team. He's like one of the most experienced players in North America, which is really good. But I do think that EG have this just because. Shall we go for the scrub prediction? Zane Jackie plays for Ghosts, so Evil Geniuses will win. Like, I don't think that's necessarily true, but or necessarily the reason. But I think EG are just a little bit better. I think the top 4 in NA is quite clear this season. So I'll maybe give this 4-3, best of 7 or 7 game 7.
Right.
Of course.
So we're gonna be sat here at Game 7. I'm gonna be messaging you on Steam. Just if you get messages from me, it's because Ghost are winning, and I need to trash talk. If you get nothing, it's because, well, you know, who trash talks when they're losing?
Exactly. All right, let's move on to semi-finals. We're gonna try and like really quickly rattle through these later predictions because they don't matter as much. I mean, this is just for seeding at LAN, which is not that huge because all the teams going are going to be pretty tough. I mean, you just don't want to finish 4th seed and play Dignitas from EU instantly. So Cloud9 NRG.
Or, actually, more importantly, potentially facing off against Chiefs, who have won that matchup.
True.
A lot recently.
Yeah, true. So you don't want to be 4th seed NA. Everything else is like whatever. But even Chiefs lost to Tainted Minds recently, so maybe Tainted Minds will be the number 1 seed from OCE. It's a lot more of a question mark now. Like, I don't think seeding is that important for LAN, or at least compared to what it used to be. Cloud9 NRG, I'm giving this one to Cloud9. I think they're just the best team in North America right now, looking like a lot more of a strong unit than NRG. They just played last week. Cloud9 smashed them 3-0, 3-2, 3-2, 1-0 in goals every game. I think it's probably going to be like more of the same. I think NRG maybe taking a game. Cloud9 are just too good right now. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I kind of have to agree at this moment in time. Just in general, I think these two teams are very close, but right now, with current form, Cloud9 are just in the best form I've seen them. And they've been consistently at that form as of late. Yeah, sure, they had the slip up against FlyQuest, but even back to the Universal Open, Gimmick and Squishy have just been hitting new strides. So I think it's going to continue here. They'll take down NRG. And they'll take them down in 4-1.
Yeah. All right, so G2 versus somebody. You've got Ghost. I've got EG. I think it doesn't matter. I think G2 are probably going to beat whoever goes through that. Although they had, like, G2 had to reverse sweep Ghost or EG in week 5. They took a while to wake up, but when they did wake up, they really woke up. They won 3-0, 2-1, 4-0 in games 3, 4, 5 respectively against EG in week 5. But I think that even if even if G2 have to come back from behind, I think they will against EG or Ghost in your world, in your bracket. I think G2 are probably going to take this 4-2 and move on into the finals, setting up that Cloud9 G2 matchup again, but not as easy to call as Cloud9 NRG, which is surprise. I never thought that would be the case, right? Like, that it would be easier to call Cloud9 NRG than G2 somebody. Like, how is G2 versus X the more predictable series? I still don't know, but yeah, what do you reckon? You got G2 Ghost. Who takes this?
I do have G2 Ghost here. So for this, it's literally just me and you having different timelines. And I've got G2 taking it 4-2 as well.
Okay. So then winners finals, Cloud9 G2. I've got Cloud9. Probably 4-1 or something. Again, maybe 4-2 if G2 can step up, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be like super close. I think Cloud9 are much better right now. Even in that matchup, they stomped G2 when they played them. Like, well, they lost game 1 4-1, but then they came back and won 3-1, 6-1, 4-1 in 3 games in a row. So I think we're going to see probably more of that. I could see Cloud9 taking this 4-1. Even if they start well, they're probably going to sweep G2. To be honest, I don't think G2 come back. If they lose game 1 and 2, it's going to be a sweep versus Cloud9.
G2 have a tendency of stepping up in these sort of matches, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was to see it again. So I would actually give it 4-3 to Cloud9.
Really?
It seems to happen every time.
I want that to be true. That's going to be a good world to live in.
Like, we saw it last season, it seemed like a bygone conclusion that NRG would probably just annihilate G2. And then, I mean, this is back when NRG were in just as good form as Cloud9 are in now. So I could see it being a 4-3. That could go either way, but I'll give it to Cloud9 in this situation.
And then third place match, NRG versus, you've got Ghost, I've got EG. I think this will be the one where NRG are going to bounce back and actually show that they're not going to drop out of RLCS to the Chiefs again in that first matchup. I think NRG are going to take this in a very close fought 4-2 over EG.
There was some thinking going on there.
Yeah, I was thinking 3-2, 2.5, 2. 4-2.
I would say pressure's off. We've seen some very weird performances in these third place matchups. So I'm not necessarily predicting this one as I normally would, but the typical scoreline for a third place matchup in the RCS is a 4-0. So I'm going to go for a 4-0 for NRG.
4-0 energy. Interesting.
We usually see a 4-0 or the one time I believe it
The
was
reverse sweep.
it was PSG and
Vitality, right?
Yeah. Well, old Vitality.
All Vitality, yeah. All right, so that's our... we've got actually different LAN teams then. That's interesting. Because me and Shogun are usually quite similar in our predictions with, game score being the variable, but Ghost versus EG, we need to pay extra close attention to that one then.
There's going to be some Twitter trash talk. We're going to show everyone how it's done.
I certainly hope so.
I want to feel personally insulted by the end of this.
We should definitely have an easier time in EU, I think. Vitality versus PSG, first of all. I do think Vitality are going to step up and take this, but I don't think it's going to be... I mean, was it Yukeo predicted 4-1 Vitality earlier today? I think it was.
I can't remember.
It must have been, because we didn't even ask Scrub his prediction for this. So Yukeo thought it was going to be 4-1.
Wouldn't pay much attention. So yeah, it must be Yukeo.
I'm going to say 4-2, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this went to Game 7. Like, PSG played really well versus Fnatic, and if it was any other team that they 3-0'd, I would maybe even give them the series, but Fnatic had a very shaky end to the season, so I think that 3-0 might be as much on Fnatic as it was on PSG. And Vitality looked very good in a loss to Dignitas, which is, just shows you how good Dignitas are. Yeah, I'm going to give it 4-2 Vitality over PSG in this one.
Yukio hasn't led me wrong so far, so I'm actually going to agree with him.
4-1.
4-1.
Wait, what else has he led you to be correct on?
Nothing yet, but that he's also not been wrong for me yet. So
I see.
We're all
Fair
good.
enough.
Wait, I think he might have got me a drink. I can't remember much that night, but I think he might have won me a drink. So
That's fair.
this is me owing him.
All right. Yukio called it 4-1 in favor of Vitality. Shogun agrees. Weedham Girls Mouse, what do you reckon on this one, if you want to call this one first?
This screams 4-0 to me, which means that it's never going to be a 4-0. I'm going to say a 4-2 here to Weedham Girls.
I was gonna say that's like my upper score for Mouse. I'm thinking 4-1 or 4-2. I think they're gonna take a game because they've taken games off everybody this season, even Dignitas, in league play. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say 4-2 as well because Weedham Girls looked shaky. More shaky in their final week, and they dropped a game to Mouse when they played them earlier in the season. So winning by 2 games, 4-2 is still a strong win. I reckon it's probably going to be 4-2 for Weedham Girls. But yeah, this is I think most people are going to be predicting that one, Weedham Girls. That's the easiest one, I would say. Mm-hmm. Maybe even easier than FlyQuest Energy. Definitely easier than FlyQuest Energy. Yeah, that's got to be the easiest one to predict. But yeah, Mouse might show up and what do you call it? Surprise everybody yet again. I
mean, it looks like they're back to being underestimated again.
Yeah,
maybe estimated correctly, but I don't know. This feels back to before the season. You know what happened in week 1?
Exactly. Yeah. They need this underdog card again pretty badly because they're in a loss streak right now. They've been taking games but losing series. You don't make land now if you lose this series. Simple as that. Last chance. We will see them in RLCS next season again though, which is pretty interesting. Dignitas versus Vitality. This is Vitality's chance for revenge. Personally, I don't think they're going to get their revenge in this match. At least not yet. I reckon that they'll take a couple of games, but Dignitas' class will shine through. Dignitas are going to be up 3-2, and Vitality are going to be winning Game 6. And Dignitas will have a really classy equalizer and then a composed overtime win in Game 6 to take it 4-2.
I want to point out, you only get this prediction if that happens specifically.
Just watch. Just you watch.
All right.
Just watch it.
You only get it. You get half a point extra if that actually happens.
Yeah. It's called, sometimes you feel really good about your prediction. You just have to describe it a little bit more detail.
Okay. Fair enough. I will go... You know what? I'll agree with you on the 4-2. But I'll win this prediction because
'cause you're not going
that really
detail.
specific thing is
Oh.
not going to happen.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I've maybe gone a little bit all in on that one. Flip side, Weedham Girls. This one
This
is
is me
interesting.
climbing back some of those points from the Ghost Evil Geniuses one.
Indeed, yeah. Hey, you might win that one too. You never know. But yeah, Weedham Girls flip side. I don't think that Flipside are going to have an easy game here. A lot of people will look at the standings and look at how teams are like Flipside four wins in a row at the end of the season. Weedham Girls two losses in a row at the end of the season. So in current form and in the standings, Flipside are the favorites. But Flipside always lose to Remco and Ignite. They lost to them in league play last season. They lost to them in the playoffs last season. They lost to them in league play this season. I could see them losing this one again. For some reason, that matchup goes really well.
For like the last 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Like ever since, I legitimately believe ever since that lower bracket win that Flipside had over Northern Gaming back in season 2. Like ever since then, it's been heavily favored toward Remco.
Yeah. Yeah, Remco lost to Flipside at 2 LANs in a row. Season 1 and 2, they got knocked out of RLCS LAN by
Season
Flipside
3,
both times.
obviously,
And ever since then, it's just been Remco.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think...
It's usually been 5-game series, though. It's like almost always gone the long way.
Yeah. I think this is a Weedham Girls series, though. I just, for some reason... I mean, it's hard to call this one in Flipside favor when they have such a bad matchup against Weedham Girls in the past. And even though Flipside are playing really well, Yukeo's never looked better. Coxer's league MVP, I think that was a totally fair MVP accolade. And like Mystic is playing very solid. Yeah, Weedham Girls still seem to always come through. So it could be a 4-3, I reckon, for Weedham Girls, which is actually a better result than Flipside have had in the past against them. Last time they got 4-2. They lost the first 2 games, won the next 2, then Weedham Girls won the 2 games after that to make it in.
And that was to make it to LAN.
To make it to LAN, yeah.
I'll go against you on this one.
All right.
I'll take Flipside, and I'll give it to them in 7 for this one. Why? Because Flipside are just in such good form right now. I think Weedham Girls are cooling off. They'll probably be better by the time LAN comes around, but I'm just not seeing enough from Weedham Girls for me to say, okay, you can beat this team that I honestly think is playing out of their own skins at this moment in time. So I've got to go for Flipside in this one.
Fair enough. So that means my grand final for playoffs will be Dignitas versus Weedham Girls, and obviously I'm giving it to Dignitas 4-1. Yours is Dignitas Flipside. Did Flipside take any games?
They take 1.
1 game. So we both think 4-1 is fair. Dignitas are still really good. I think Vitality have the best matchup against Dignitas out of anybody.
Oh yeah, Vitality have got like by far
Better than Flipside,
It's
better
a little
than
bit skewed. Even if we take the Jazer series out of the equation, it's still a very good matchup.
Mm.
Did you see that like stat recently on the Reddit? Like, how to beat Dignitas, and it was that they've lost the most on Manfield Night. So just only play them on Manfield Night, apparently.
Really? That's my favorite map.
It is the best map.
Oh, interesting. That is interesting. I always use Manfield Night. Anyway, that means our 3rd place match, last one. I've got Vitality versus Flipside, and I would give that one to Flipside because they looked really good versus Vitality earlier in the season. And 3rd place, 3rd, 4th for Europe doesn't matter that much actually for seeding. Well, it might, because you have to play an OCE team first. Some people would say that's a good thing. If you're 4th seed EU, you're probably against Cloud9. Yeah, I don't know. They're probably not gonna like be that. It's not like you're playing for your LAN spot or playing for your playoff spot. It's not that important, right? So I think that's gonna favor Flipside. So when Vitality really need a win, they've done well this season. They've pulled out the wins.
See, mine's very different here because I'm starting to think about a team that I've
got Weedham
Vitality versus Weedham Girls.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think about which team could deal with avoiding that first round the most. And the team that keeps springing to my mind right now is Vitality after how badly last season went.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not only that, but Metznaris, I don't think he's going to be overly fussed about a 3rd, 4th. I mean, that's where they finished last season. Ended up being the best thing for them.
Yeah.
Well, at least for him.
Also, like Envy did badly last season too. Envy lost to Tainted Minds last season.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. I can see Vitality being more motivated for that matchup.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going to give it to
So
them.
you've got a tier list in EU. You've got Dignitas 1, Flipside 2, Vitality 3, We Dem Girls 4, and everybody beats the teams below them when they match up in your bracket. I've got Dignitas beating everybody, and then I've got like a triangle. I've got Vitality beats We Dem Girls beat Flipside, Flipside beat Vitality. Like they're the rock paper scissors for me. That's the easiest way for me to remember it, I suppose. But yeah, playoffs are this weekend. It's going to be very interesting. We're talking about these, seeding matchups at the end, but the round of 6 has never been more up in the air for both regions, I would say. Like all these games are quite scary, actually.
Oh yeah, this is going to be hype, like beyond hype.
Who was the 6th place team last time playing against Complexity? It was PSG, right?
Say again.
Who did? Wait, no. Complexity finished top 2 in league play last season, so they auto qualified. It was Vitality who didn't auto qualify. So Vitality beat PSG last season in playoffs, didn't they? Yeah.
Because
I suppose that was a pretty scary season as well. Yeah, like Europe's been scary for a few seasons now, but North America, this is the scariest that North America's looked in the round of 6 by far. I don't remember
I'm
ever.
having a weird time with this right now because I've never been on this end. Not for a while. I haven't been as a spectator. I put a tweet out the other day just going, okay, casting is so much easier than watching because casting, like you're always thinking all the time.
Yeah.
So you don't really. I'm not gonna say you don't care, but you're not emotionally invested.
Yeah, you're logical.
But when you're watching, you're just like, okay, how does anyone sit through this? It's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is. When you're watching at LAN as well, oh my days. It's so nerve-wracking. But yeah, those are our predictions. I will be putting out prediction contest tweets this weekend, so follow me on Twitter. I've still got @ScrubKillerRL on the screen. I'm such a muppet, but yeah, take that off. I'm going to put up prediction contest tweets, so people still have a chance to win a bunch of items if you can get them all right.
Did anyone win that?
Nobody. I came the closest.
And we're adding in best of 7s this week.
Yeah, best of 7s this week. So it's even harder than before. Somebody was 1 series away from winning on one of the weeks where it was only 5 games per week. But they missed out the second series. They got the second one wrong by a single game. And then it was only at the end they realized, if I'd got this one right, I would have won. But for me, I was still on track to win it with 3 games left in the broadcast for NRG versus EG. It was 1-1 NRG EG, and I said 3-1 NRG. But then EG won 3-1. It's like, no! Corrupted boomed in a double touch in the game 3. I was like, no, my predictions, Gabe, why? Why would you do this? There's a 1 in 262,000 chance of winning this one. Yikes. That's not gonna happen. But we'll see who can get it closest.
You know what the problem is, Johnny? We could get someone to win this, but you're not famous enough yet.
Yeah, I need that. See, we need that many people to reply with all different predictions every time. We need 250,000.
It's a lottery now.
Like every time there's usually like 750, 800 predictions, which is a lot of replies, but it's not enough to get this by favorable odds, not by a long shot. I wanted to really quickly say to everybody watching or listening, we're not sure when the next podcast is going to be. We're going to do one more before the LAN, and that'll be just doing LAN predictions, of course, because with playoffs happening this weekend, we could just go live and talk about playoffs, but I don't think that there's going to be enough to talk about compared to when LAN is rolling around. We're going to, just touch a little bit on playoffs in that episode, and then main focus will be LAN predictions and LAN talk. So that's the next one. I'll announce when that's going to be on Twitter again, so make sure to follow me on Twitter if you want to know when that is. Talk about the promotional tourney. I don't even know when that is, not going to lie.
That is the week after the LAN.
Week after LAN?
Yeah.
Really?
At least as far as I've heard.
Why would they not do that before? That seems really strange.
At least what I'm hearing from Twitter hearsay.
Okay. That's interesting. But yeah, for the rest of today, guys, we're just going to take a couple of questions from chat. Not too many because it is midnight over here in Europe. So you guys leave your questions right now. I'm gonna try and pick out some interesting ones. Shogun can grab, if you see an interesting question, you can grab it as well. Favorite ice cream flavor. I mean, I don't really know actually. Maybe it depends. Sometimes mint is good. All vanilla is usually a safe bet. Don't like
get an
chocolate.
After 8 one.
Not chocolate. Wait, you like After 8? Is that minty?
After 8 ice cream is usually
Minty
pretty
dark
good.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. The price to make a Cuxer best of 9 happen. I don't know. You need to ask Cux. Which team has the best story going into the playoffs? That's a good question. Which team has the best story going into the playoffs? It's got to be Mouse, right? They're the massive underdogs.
Mouse or Vitality, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, FlyQuest are... Yeah, FlyQuest are got a decent
being
story.
the first promotion team to make it to LAN.
I mean, they're all like... All the teams are all kind of similar. Like, the stories are very often the same or very close to the same.
Yeah. I think if you want more stories, then you'd have to get more time to speak to these players, get to know them a little bit more. I think today helped out with that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Are the top 4 RLRS teams comparable skill-wise with the bottom 4 RLCS teams? In North America, I don't think so, but I also don't really know, because I don't even know who plays in RLRS America besides Karma and her team. And I don't know how good they are. I don't watch RLRS NA in case this wasn't already apparent. For EU, though, yeah, it's probably quite close because like there's quite a clear top 4 in RLRS EU right now, at least in the league standings. There's going to be 4 teams that finish with 5 wins or more, I believe, in RLRS EU. And Method and Secret are both very good teams, and I don't think they're going to make promotion tournament thing. So yeah, you could say that I think that, you know, those teams taking a series off Mouse, Complexity, Fnatic, BSG, wouldn't be that surprising. What do you reckon, Shogun? Is that like who would win that league if you took the bottom 4? BSG, Mouse, Fnatic, Complexity, Red, where are they there? I forgot the name. Method, Secret, and the other team, Savage.
I'd say I'd probably expect Red Reserve to finish top 2 in that.
I reckon PSG would actually do really well in that league as well. They're on the up.
But they're definitely comparable. I mean, we've seen it with the play, the Coliseum. We've definitely seen that they are very comparable.
It's interesting though with the difference between, what do you call it, RLCS and non-RLCS events. Like Flipside did terribly in all those events. Like the play in the Coliseum, Flipside were like round of 16, I think. Yeah, in both of those. By teams that they shouldn't be losing to. And then they show up in RLCS and they play really well. And in the same way, Method have been like killing it. They're like, you know, destroying Gfinities, and then they lose in RLRS. Like just get beaten pretty badly by Savage and Red Reserve, I think. Like
I think
it's totally different.
Like their ability to play, it depends on how far the Earth has rotated around the sun at that moment in time. Like if they can get like the right part of the sun flaring down at them, then they suddenly become godlike at the game.
There's also like Mouse as well though. Mouse like did so much better. Like a lot of teams did actually. And
Mouse had a pretty poor off season.
Yeah, they were awful. Their off season was.
They had one.
They were so bad. They were losing to teams that are like not even RLRS, but below RLRS. Like the Mouse were getting smashed by everybody. It looked like they were just going to get destroyed in RLCS based on off-season stuff, and then they win 2-0 in the first week. Like RLCS is a very, very different beast, guys. And just because a team does well in a Gfinity doesn't mean they're going to do well in RLCS if you just take them out and put them in.
The only way you can look at RLRS and Gfinity being similar is if a team played in Gfinity every single week for 5 weeks, and you saw them have one bad week, and you go, okay, yeah, they didn't make it.
Yeah, that's RLRS.
Like you get one,
and it's not even 5. Like
16.
RLRS is 5 weeks, but I think every team has an off week as well.
Yes,
it's like
4.
3 or 4 weeks and then I don't know if like promotion and relegation tournament. I can see why it exists is because like before, I think it's ran its course. Promotion relegation isn't really necessary anymore. Initially it was because Psionics weren't really sure if there were teams who were better than the RLCS teams. Like, what if you let two teams in just because they got promoted or they got top 2 in RLRS, but then they just get destroyed in RLCS? Well, before you do that, before you put them in, you let them play against the 2 worst teams in RLCS and see who's better. That's what the point of the promotion tournament is. But with the teams being close now, I think promotion tournaments probably ran its course. What do you reckon?
It's its whole discussion. I think we need a little bit longer than we have here to go through everything on it, because the RLRS obviously it serves its function and it's way better than what we had previously.
Oh yeah,
where we have to just like go through, like everyone gets it. 4 guys get to stay, and then everyone else just you play in a tournament. So it's definitely better than what came before it. So I think natural progression is just to keep going.
Oh, I'm definitely okay with 10 teams in RLRS as well. If they're going to do this kind of like off-stream matches thing, like more teams would be fine in RLRS. More teams would be okay in RLCS at this point, especially in Europe. You could have definitely a 10-team league quite easily. America, I mean, the bottom end of Americans always been a little bit worse, so increasing that wouldn't be a huge shock to the system as well. Somebody actually did just say RLCS needs 10 teams in chat. Mystic didn't play the Coliseum. Yeah, there was a lot of like G-Affinities and stuff that Flipside did with full roster, and they'd just lose though. Like Flipside did a terrible off season. Like it looked bad enough that it was like Mouse and Flipside were looking like maybe the worst 2 teams. Actually, in complexity, they all looked terrible. Fnatic beat Dignitas once. PSG won a tournament. Weedham Girls made the final of a tournament, so they were like, everybody's thinking, okay, they're fine. Vitality are good. Dignitas are good. The other 3, maybe not. Can you summarize the podcast for you? No, I cannot. Let's see. 4 most likely teams to win LAN as of right now. Right. Dignitas is the obvious one. Cloud9 also pretty obvious. Then apart from that, I would probably say Flipside and Vitality, just because they say like Flipside have got the pop off on LAN potential with Cux, and then Vitality have got, I think, the best chance of like beating Dignitas right now in EU at least.
Yeah. I'm trying so hard to go against you on this one, but I can't. So yeah, I'll agree with that one.
Yeah, because you'd have to say G2 then, and you're like, no, I can't say G2 winning LAN.
I mean, I could say Weedham Girls.
Yeah, actually, Weedham Girls, that's true. You could say Weedham Girls. But you had them as your 4th best team in Europe, so...
Hey, it might change.
Like then, saying a team is your 4th favourite team in the playoffs is totally different than saying a team that could win LAN. Like, LAN is very different than playoffs. We've been talking about playoffs this podcast, mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Which of the RLCS players...
I'd stick with you on that one.
Which of the RLCS players will be gambling their LAN winnings at Vegas? How old do you have to be? 21 to gamble in Vegas?
I have no idea, dude. Guess what? I've never been to Vegas.
No, me neither.
Oh god, actually, before we answer this, I want to tell you about my fun time I had in Washington.
Right.
Me and Doomsy, we went down because season 4 was held in Washington, and there was a casino as part of the actual arena.
Right.
So me and Doomsy were going to go over there, and obviously we have to hand in our ID. So I've got my driver's license. And the guy that's looking there just looks at it. He's like got a smug smile on his face. He just goes, "What, you think I'm stupid? There's not 16 months in the year." I'm just going, "Oh, America!"
Oh my goodness! Like, why do America do it like this? Why do they have the month first? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Like, it just doesn't make sense, guys.
Sat there. Me and Doomsy like both figured it out at the same time. We just sat, just go, we can't laugh.
Yeah.
But we really want to. But I really want to get in.
I'll illustrate this to you guys, because I know that some people use what do you call it? Some people do use the month first, but it's a fairly simple reason why you don't do that. You know, like obviously a year is bigger than a month. I think we can all agree on that, right? And then a month is bigger than a day. I think that's like, I mean, there might be someone in chat who try and debate that, but let's just ignore them for now.
Flat earthers.
Yeah, we've probably got at least one flat earther in chat, maybe. But yeah, so check this out, guys. If a month is bigger than a day, and a year is bigger than a month, here I'm gonna put this on top of Shogun's face cam, so I don't need to create a thing.
The hell is that?
Wait a second. How do I move this?
Yeah. I'm liking
oh wait,
this.
it's backwards. I flipped it.
Oh.
Select all, image, flip horizontal. There we go. See, like a day is bigger than a year is bigger than a month, and a month is bigger than a day. So like if you're doing it like the American way, you're literally just
What
building.
Is this, a pyramid scheme?
Yeah, like they build their pyramids wrong in America. Like they take the middle.
Gotta say, this is the best shape I've ever been in.
Yeah, this is like if you're in America, this is how you build your pyramids apparently. Wait, how do I do this? How do I move? There we go. Like they like put the middle on top. Like this would never stand up. I did structural engineering at university. Like this is just never gonna stand, guys. Like I don't stand for this. Certainly not.
I don't see what the problem is here.
Not like this is how they structure their what do you call it? Their dates. And it just doesn't make sense. Also, on my screen this is backwards as well. I've had to flip this, so yeah, it does make sense on the thing. Yeah, that's why American dates are stupid, and you should just say the day first.
Hello again.
It shows back. See, I use a screen region for that, so you know, if I want to show something, the easiest way to do it is just to drag it on top of your face rather than.
I preferred it when you had 3 monitors.
Yeah, 3 monitors is so much better. I had to stop this because Psionics made Rocket League take up too much CPU. Why do you care about the smallest things? It's a meme, buddy. It seems like you care and get upset about it a lot more than I do.
This is how you get through streaming. This is like literally the only way to make streaming happen is like you pick the smallest things and you just go in on them.
Yeah.
If not, there is nothing to talk about.
How do you say your dates? We put the day first. Like, and it's not just UK. It's everywhere else in the world puts the day first. Only in America do you put the month first before the day in your date format. And only in America is the metric system not accepted. Like, come on, guys. What are you doing?
I'm always like, I have lost months whilst I'm in America. I just don't know what the day is. Just walking around, like, suddenly it's like 14 days in the future. I don't even know how that happened.
Oh yeah, Fahrenheit as well. Nobody else uses Fahrenheit. No one in the entire world uses Fahrenheit apart from America, right? You do it in Canada too? Yeah, but you're just America's hat, so...
So you were talking earlier on about how Scrub should move to Canada instead.
Hey, I'd rather be America's hat than America. But
all right.
They're still America's hat.
They are the top hat.
Would you rather double round robin or 10 teams in their LCS? Probably both. I would take both. Here, what do you reckon would be better? Double round robin best of 3s or single round robin best of 5s?
Oh, double best of 3s.
Because I know if you bring this up, there will be an outcry from our LCS players saying, "No, we need 5 games."
You get more game time with this.
Yeah, double round robin best of 3 would be decent actually. Like best of 5 is pretty good. But I would be very interested to see what a best of 3 would look like. I think double round robin best of 3 would be a good a good step up. And then if you need more games, make it double round robin best of 5.
Yeah.
Round robin means every team plays each other. Best of 1. I'm okay with best of 1. I like best of 1 in Rocket League.
Best of 1, 10 minutes.
I think not 10 minutes. Have you seen how long 10-minute games feel like? Like, see when you cast a 10-minute game, you fall asleep. It takes so long, and also the pacing.
20 minutes.
You get completely thrown off. Break. The pacing is so different. You get thrown off like really hard.
Should just go back to what Rival Esports tried to do once, which was the best of 7, best of 3s.
That was that was a marathon.
That was that was a lot of casting.
Yep. You did
You know
one of
what
those,
else
didn't
did-
you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did one of those.
I also did the longest event in Rocket League history.
Which was that?
Gfinity double elimination best of 9.
Oh my, yeah.
With one of the second stream went down, so me and Shelfus had to do all of it.
Yeah. Best of 6 or best of 4? You know, for league play, people might think you're joking when you say best of 6 and best of 4, but for league play, those things are actually a real thing. You could do best of 2, because then you have a draw if both teams win 1 game, and you have a win if one team wins 2 games in a row. But I don't think you would score that like football do, where you get 3 points for a win and 1 point for a draw. I think it would still be better to use game win percentage total. But yeah, best of 2 is good. Best of 5, but first to score mutator? No. We need the 5-minute games. There's got to be something that's consistent. That has to stay. And yeah, you can see me play with Flumpets on this kind of on my YouTube video. On YouTube, I've had a couple of videos with them. Hally RL, that still doesn't explain like why in 2018 it is still being used.
It's good to be wrong.
Yes,
this is the problem, Hallie. You have admitted the problem of everyone online. We can't admit when we're wrong and just change it.
Yeah, like
admit that
that
we're
explains why it was used years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. It doesn't explain why it's used now. But yeah, guys, let's do a couple more questions here. Then I'm going to catch up on alerts and say goodnight.
I always admit when I'm wrong. It just hasn't happened yet.
Exactly the same for me. It's something I'm waiting on.
Yeah. I mean, one of us is going to be wrong this weekend.
True. Yeah.
So one of us will apologize.
Mm-hmm. Did I enjoy the pinball angle? I did, actually. That was good. I enjoyed doing Shogun does the top 10 for Gift Your Game usually. I do the not top 10. I think my job is much easier because scripting that, I can just say whatever I want because anything kind of goes. When the play is bad, you can make any analogy. But if you want to hype up like an epic goal, you're kind of like more constrained in what you can say. So Shogun's got a tough job there.
I don't like your ceiling shots anymore, people. I am tired of them. Ceilings are boring.
Ceiling flip reset, dare dribble rebound thing.
It's really bad because I've looked at some of these and just go, yeah, it was alright. And I'm seeing like double flip resets for a backboard touch, and I'm just like,
you're just like, oh, this again. Yeah.
yeah, but the keeper was like not there.
Yeah,
So-
it's like on an open net essentially. If C9 wins LAN, what's your thoughts on EU reaction? Everybody will be fine with this.
Yeah, I don't think
like-
anyone. I don't think any of the pro players care.
I mean, the only way that we need to explain this is, did you guys hear the reaction when Justin equalized against against
That's
Dignitas?
London though. That's different.
Well, still, that's like UK Rocket League is probably the biggest scene, I would say, in EU. Maybe. I think it's pretty big.
Crowd.
There's a lot of UK players, and there's a lot of like viewers from UK. So it's a decent like place to look at as an example. And I would say that you watch Justin's goal, every European person in that house is cheering because UK's left the EU. Now I'm saying like in this side of the Atlantic Ocean, okay, in Europe, not the EU, Europe. EU just like cheering for good goals. It was the same at like season 2 when it was in Amsterdam. There was like NA teams getting cheered for. And the reason I bring this up is because I do believe that the Vegas crowd can live up to the London crowd at RLCS. I do. But for that to happen, North American fans of G2, fans of Cloud9, fans of NRG, fans of whoever else qualifies, fans of North American Rocket League have to cheer when European teams score. They have to cheer when Australian teams score. And I know it's uncomfortable because Like at season 3, like there was just silence when it's like EU versus EU. Nobody cheering. Like, you're making the experience less fun for yourselves and thousands and tens of thousands watching online if you don't cheer. Like, the reason Landon was so much better than every other LAN is because the crowd was just cheering for everybody. They were singing songs for every player. Nobody was left out. And that's what America needs to do if they want LAN Vegas to be as good.
To describe it is the players do not care about EU versus NA.
No,
they don't care at
Yeah.
all. Garrett even recently said he was just like, I don't know why people go on about this. So if the players don't care, why should you?
Mm-hmm. It's a stat. It's not something you should be upset about. The most American place possible, Las Vegas. So keep expectations low. We'll see. I'm just saying, there's a lot of fans going to be there who are viewers of Rocket League on Twitch on the regular, and if they hear, I know that if word gets around of what chants people are going to be doing, maybe they're going to learn them and actually join in. Hopefully, we'll see.
There'll be a Discord, and there will also probably be a Twitter for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
No excuses.
We'll be promoting this a lot, but we need to teach people in America how to chant. I know that they want to learn though. There's a lot of people who want to learn how to do it because it's not like a competition. Like, it's just the facts. Landon was better, so let's try and do it again, even better. And it doesn't matter if the best LAN ever is in Las Vegas. Nobody European's going to be salty if an NA team wins. Nobody in Europe's going to be salty. We just want the best for the game. So let's see if it'll happen.
I broke it.
But yeah, I think that's all of the questions from chat. Thanks to everybody for tuning in and giving us questions. Sorry that we can't interact with you guys as much as I usually do on my stream, because we have to try and get through this conversation without tangents every 5 seconds.
I mean, it was once every 15 this time, so
it wasn't too bad. But yeah, again, feedback on the different style of format. I think that this is going to be an ever-evolving type of thing. So, just let us know what you guys thought of today's episode. I didn't answer yours. Sorry, didn't answer. I deliberately ignore questions. But yeah, we're gonna head off. So once again, thanks to Shogun for giving up his time and providing us with much analysis and entertainment. And yeah, where can people find you?
You can find me at Callum the Shogun on both Twitter and Twitch. And if you're feeling lonely this Sunday, I've actually got a 24-hour stream that I owe, apparently. So I'll be doing that this Sunday. So come and watch the RCS with me.
Nice. Are you going to be just streaming it? What do you call it?
I spoke to Psyonix about maybe getting permission to show some stuff on screen, but if not, it will just be audio and me on stream.
Because I was going to say, I saw a whole bunch of people doing that last weekend.
Yeah, but they don't have to potentially go back and work for them. So I'm asking for permission.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I mean, it should be okay. People need to be in the chat to get the rewards anyway, but that'll be interesting. Definitely give Shogun a follow. Did you reach 1,000 followers on Twitter yet?
I'm on 10k now. So,
nice.
Yeah.
But he needs more. 10k is nice, but we need more. Anyway, though, it's been a pleasure as always, mate. I'm going to just sign off for the night as well. It's getting late. I'll talk to you later.
Man.
All right. Take care.
Cheers, bud.
See if I can hide this. There we go. Make sure not to leak anything there. Yeah. So, you might have realized I'm not actually in Shogun's room. This is a fake background. I know. I lied to all of you. But yeah, thanks for tuning in today, guys, to the podcast segment. It's been a pleasure. Gonna have one more of these before we land, so that's to look forward to. Just follow me on Twitter if you want to know when that's gonna be. Enable notifications.